Are the bears done? Or are we going to finally start coming up after dying down so many times? Been very, very bearish. And finally, for the first time in forever, you see the overall market green. With that being said, we got some striking AI news and we got some more bullish news overall and some bearish news also to an extent. But today I'm going to be telling you guys the news, everything you guys need to know about the market, earnings, and give you guys some plays and some supports and resistance levels to look at on the market and my current opinion about where certain stocks are going. That being said, let's talk about some news. So we do got Nvda, D-Wave. D-Wave is a new one on the most active stock list. Rigetti is always on there, but up 20%. That is insane. Keep those on your mind and on your radar. Palantir up 8%. Palantir is coming back. We do have a deal that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, AI deal with Palantir. Them getting more deals is going to make them look more bullish. Intel also doing pretty decent. With that being said, we got Pepsi nearing more than a $1.5 billion deal for soda brand Poppy. If you guys don't know what that is, just basically just a soda brand, but this should bring their stock up. And I think Pepsi is a good stock to have in your long term. It moves pretty strong, and we've been seeing it very, very volatile recently. But with that being said, we do got gold reaching $3,000 as trade war escalates. So that's kind of insane. People get into gold because it's kind of a little bit safer. But with that being said, President Capital adjust price target. So Broadcom, a price target to 265 from 250. So it's a bullish price target. But we do have a Nvidia one that was adjusted to 168 from 175. So it is kind of bearish. Whenever they bring it down, the stock goes down a little bit. But today we do see Nvidia up almost 5%. We're going to be looking at that a little bit later. Like I said before, Palantir strikes an AI partnership with Archer Aviation. So basically, this is some great news, and both stocks are up almost 8%, and then Palantir is up almost 9%. So that is pretty decent news to understand. With that being said, some other news that we have. So basically, we have, after a recent sell-off driven by politics and economic uncertainties, U.S. stock futures are rebounding. The Magnificent Seven tech stocks, including Nvidia and Meta, are showing pre-market gains. Tesla also announced a low-cost Model Y for the Chinese market, and it basically boosted its share price, and it's kind of to compete with the other EV companies and to kind of bring them back into that number one area. European and Asian markets, European indexes are up, reflecting improved investor sentiment. Asian markets, notably in Japan, China, and Hong Kong, have also rallied. So China has rallied a decent amount today too. So keep that on your mind. Some gold, you guys know, we just talked about it, but a record high of $3,000 per ounce as investors seek safe havens. So yeah, oil prices have rebounded with Brent crude rising to $70.35 and WTI futures increasing to 67.05 per barrel. So keep that on your mind. Some trade policies and tariffs. So President Trump aggressive and unpredictable trade policies, including recent tariff announcement affecting China, Mexico, and Canada, have heightened market volatility. These measures have led to retaliation actions impacting the global trade dynamics and investors' confidence. Investment banking outlook. So Morgan Stanley analyst has revised their expectations for rebound in investment banking, citing ongoing market volatility and economic uncertainty, driven by fluctuation of tariffs and other things that are going on. So some other things. So we do got some economic indicators. So upcoming consumer sentiment data in US is highly anticipated by investors, as it will provide insights into consumer confidence and spending patterns. We did kind of get that, and it did pretty decently. So we are kind of showing signs of recovery. They remain sensitive to geopolitical developments, trade policies, and economic data releases. Investors are advised to stay informed and exercise caution, basically with all these uncertainties. So with that being said, as I showed you guys on the heat map, we are very, very green, and we've been doing pretty decent for the past 2 days, and kind of just showing a little bit more of a bottom overall. With that being said, I do recommend being very, very careful and being very safe, because we can rally for a couple of days and then we come out with some bad tariff news or something like that. But honestly, I think we're kind of on the edge of what can really bring down the market news wise. It can still bring down the market, of course, but I feel like that all the news that we can get is already kind of out, the tariffs and stuff like that. So keep that on your mind. But we did get some good news with the war overall. They're trying to get more peace, and with peace coming out and more people saying that they want peace with the war in the Ukraine and Russia, That does bring up the market too. That's what kind of brought it up today. So I think right now we're in that range. We're going to just keep on getting good news. But with that being said, some price targets to look at. So for the overall SPY, we're going to be looking at SPY first. But basically some levels like the 562 level, or let's look at the 561 first. Break above 561, we're gonna have 562 next level, 563.7, 564.8, and then 565. And then to the downside, back down, I do recommend looking at that 560. 560 is a key level to look at, because once we broke above that, we had a big candle upwards and kind of looked pretty bullish after that, because we kind of retested it back down, and then we broke that, and then we went back up a little bit more, and then down past that, 559, 558, 555, of course, that's going to be a key level because we did get a little bounce off of that, or 556, sorry, and then 555. That being said, Apple is looking okay, but with that being said, to the upside, I do recommend looking at that 214, 215, and then 220. And to the downside, I do recommend looking at that 210 to 208, and then down past that a little bit more, maybe 207. So keep those on your mind. Nvda, we did get some decent news with Nvda, even though we did get that bearish price target. But with that being said, I do recommend looking at that 122, 125, and then 130 for next week. Today, we might be able to get up to that 122 to 123, maybe even break above even more. That'd be kind of insane, because we'll go like 5-10% with Nvda in one day to the upside, which would look very, very bullish. To the downside, I do recommend looking at that 120, 119, 118, and then 117 Palantir. Palantir, of course, looking pretty decent. We got a good deal, and we were very, very bullish at market open. With that being said, I will be looking at that $90 level. How it reacts at that $90 level is going to kind of determine the rest, but 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. And then to the downside, I do recommend looking at that 86, 86, 85, and then 83 for Palantir. Tesla, we're looking okay with it. We might have hit a bottom yesterday, but we can keep on going down with Tesla, especially with the way the stock is moving. With that being said, look at that 250, 255, and 260 to the downside, 245, 240, and then 239, and then 235. With that being said, we did get some decent news with Bitcoin. So basically, a bill is going to be signed so that the Bitcoin reserve can't really be taken away from any other president in the future, just in case if that happens. So we did get some bullish sense. I am looking at that $85,000 level, and then after that $90,000 level, and then back to the downside, we'll probably just look at where we were kind of consolidating at with that 83 to that $80,000 level. With that being said, I like to look at MSTR. MSTR is looking strong today. Oh my! So we were down lows of 273, and then now we're hitting that 290. That's kind of insane. We're about to hit a $30 move on this, which is insane. With that being said, to the upside, I do recommend looking at how it reacts first with that 290. We're already broke it, kind of. But if we stay above that 290, I'll be looking at that 295 and 300. With that being said, this stock moves like really, really fast. I mean, as you guys can see, it moves pretty fast, and it moves up and down $10 at a time, So depending on how Bitcoin moves, it moves with Bitcoin. So watch Bitcoin too if you're trading this. But I do recommend looking at it to the upside first. So those levels I said before. And then after that 300, I'll look at 310, 320. And then to the downside, I will look at 280, 275, and then 270 to the downside. Coinbase too, you can look at. But with that being said, I think some decent plays to do is to kind of scope out MSTR. And if we can get, a little dip in Bitcoin, you can play a put, or if we keep on rallying up with Bitcoin, you could do a call option. But sometimes on Fridays, we do have a big sell-off. So once that sell-off starts happening, you can make a decent amount of money off of MSTR on a put. SPY, honestly, just look at how SPY reacts. If we keep on going up, you can play a call option. And then to the downside, you can play a put option. I personally scope out 10 to 15% gainers. I trade with like a decent amount of money, and then I basically just scope out 10%. So if you're trading with $1,000 and you want to make 10%, that's 100. And then you trade with 10,000, that's 1,000. So just understand that, as you build up your money, that's a decent thing to do, because I kind of did it today, and I did it with a put option, which is kind of insane. But these two candles right here, I made my 10%, which is insane. So keep that on your mind. But with that being said, another one is Nvda. Nvda is in a call option. Just depends on how the overall market looks. I do recommend watching SPY and other tech stocks too. And next one is Palantir, just because of that good news. I think we could play like a $90 call option over the week. And then Tesla, of course. I think just watching how Tesla moves, I kind of want to look at that 250 range. And then if we can break above that 250, we can probably get 255. So that's a decent, tiny little move. If you want to play an option, play on that. But with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.